Hey y'all, thanks for joining in. Today we have a 2008 Lexus RX350 all-wheel drive. Came in for a starter. Now, to gain access to the starter, what you're going to do is disconnect your battery. Then you're going to want to remove the battery and the air handler. The air handler is what's going to hold your air filter. Right there and there. There's some 10mm bolts that hold that air handler down. There should be 3 of them. One here, here, and over here. That holds the bottom of the air box. And then there's 2 10s on the top of the air box you have to take loose so you can get the top cover off and this air filter. Once you get the air filter out of the way, the battery box, the battery, you can find your starter right here. Here's your starter motor. Now, it is 2 14mm bolts and a 12mm bolt to take off the positive connection. Now, I have removed both 14mm bolts for the starter. You can see a little crack there. That's because I've been beating on it to try to get it to come free. This starter has actually got froze up in the transmission. Basically just the aluminum is oxidized and just kind of stuck itself together here. Because there's only 2 bolts in the starter. But both bolts are removed. You can see right there it's gone. Right there it's gone. But I'm having to take a screwdriver and a pry bar and knock a little screwdriver here and then take a pry bar and wedge it down in here and kind of wiggle back and forth on the starter. I haven't quite got it out yet, but that's going to be the process. Now, while we were doing this, if you look right here, this is a filler neck, as you can tell, for your radiator. Well, just by moving the battery, all we did was touch this little plastic piece and it sheared off. Now, you can get these at your local auto parts store. They're about 40 bucks. But be very careful when taking out the battery and the air handler because it's possible that you break this off. But if you run into the same issue, what I have done, like I said, a small screwdriver in there, I have sprayed a little PB blaster and then a pry bar at the back, and you wiggle it back and forth. I've gotten a crack in it now where you can see where before it was flush. But that's going to be the process for putting on a starter for a 2008 Lexus RX350. All right, make sure y'all like and subscribe.